So I broke this a few days ago on my channel, and this is the France's new simplified application process for the talent passport visa. Okay, I'm going to discuss what this talent passport is, what are the requirements, and I'm going to deep dive in some of the criteria that you need to satisfy in order to qualify for this brand new process, this simplified fast track process. And towards the second half of the video, I'm going to discuss some of very important questions raised by our advanced members. We're going to look at their feedback, have some discussion. All right. Who is this for, right? So this is for professionals with qualifications in specific fields, and they throw in a bunch of fields, and most of the jobs actually, not saying most, but a lot of jobs actually fit in one of the other categories. And the categories are technology, healthcare, research, and environmental sustainability. So a lot of jobs actually can fit in these categories. It's all about the documentation, how you articulate, how you define your job, and how you present your job. Your job responsibilities, again, they're negotiable with your employer in a lot of cases. And again, this has to be legal and truthful, but documentation and articulation plays a big role in satisfying some of these criteria, and that's what we have the attorneys for. So what are the simplifications? It's an online application for starters. The entire application process can now be completed online, streamlining the process and reducing administrative hurdles. So we're going to make it faster and smoother. Reduced paperwork. The required documents have been significantly minimized, making the application less burdensome. Faster processing time. The French government aims to reduce processing times to around 2 months for eligible applicants. Simplified visa renewal. Subsequent renewals of the talent passport visa are expected to be easier and faster. More talent for French businesses. The program aims to attract top talent from abroad, boosting the French competitiveness and innovations. Now, a lot of the EU is focusing on reducing the whole refugee and asylum because there's such a lot of chaos everywhere, right? So they're trying to put the brakes on some of that. You know what's happening with Germany, a couple of other EU nations, and they're trying to attract more of the workforce, right? So they want more talent from outside to contribute, to pay more taxes, to work for the big companies and all those kind of things. Enhanced international reputation. Now, the US has a great reputation because it attracts top talent from all over the world. The idea over here is similar. They want more talented, highly skilled professionals to go to France and start attracting diverse backgrounds and strengthen France's image as a global hub for innovation and entrepreneurship. Now, the criteria is simple. It's the minimum salary requirements have been defined. The salary threshold varies depending upon the profession and the location, but generally the ranges are set to 53k euros to 61k euros per year. So your salary, the promised salary that you're going to draw, should be within that range. It's a very modest range. Most of the skilled jobs should be able to earn that much per year. And then holding a valid employment contract with a French company or a research institution is required. So obviously, if you're going to be promised that salary, you want to have a job contract, it should be defined, right? It should be on paper. So those are the only things that you need in order to qualify for this. Now, what's interesting is our advanced member opinions. And if you aren't an advanced member, then take full advantage because that's where all the latest news break happens. We analyze, we do some discussions, and then it makes to the videos. Crypto Nerd says, is this visa a fast track way to French citizenship? How long is the naturalization process? Naturalization does not change. It's 5 years of residency. It's the usual 5 years on PR. Patience is Alpha makes a valuable point here. He says that processing times can be long, upwards of 2 years. Now, this is pretty standard. When you talk about a Portugal Golden Visa, people say 5 years, but what does that mean? 5 years of wait time? Okay. But how about the residency and then the citizenship processing time? So you got to put those together, right? Sometimes the residency takes 2 years. It could take anywhere from 1 year to 2 years. And that's the initial residency that I'm talking about. So let's say 2 and then 5, which is 7, and then you apply for citizenship, assuming that you speak Portuguese by then. You apply for citizenship, show substantial ties with the country, and then you're talking about a couple of years. Best case scenario, you might get it in a year, but let's be realistic, right? Year and a half, 2 years. Then you're talking about 2, 5, 2. It's like 9. Same thing with France, any other EU country, they take some time to process. Now, Patience Alpha makes a very interesting point here. He says, yep, I know one of exception, Luxembourg, where if you have no response for 6 months, it is considered granted. Now, this is very similar to something that we do in South Africa. Now, the permanent residency in South Africa. Now, people might not be interested in the South African passport, but a lot of people are interested in securing and getting the permanent residency for South Africa because it has no physical presence required to maintain it. It's a flexible permanent residency. It's very cheap. It's just a donation of 6,800 to the South African government. And then you can become a permanent resident of South Africa. It's a residency that you can keep at least a foothold in the Africas. Once you exceed the 8 to 9 month threshold, we file an order with the immigration, with the courts, and then they get the order, present that to immigration, and get the benefit approved in time. So this is exclusive to some countries. Other countries will take their usual sweet time, 1 to 2 years, to grant you the benefit. And at any point in time, if you are interested in getting started either with the EU residency that leads to citizenship, a direct citizenship program, or let's say you're interested in the Latin Americas, we have fascinating coverage. I have attorneys in almost all the places that I cover. So you're well covered with us. You can always click the link in the description, book a call with us, and we can get you started with whatever that is you're looking for. Well, I hope you liked this coverage. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed to this channel because the moment there is anything brewing, the first one to present it. All right, catch you in the next one.